Good evening, viewers. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. We're going to continue to put the spotlight on the glaring Morbi lapses that have come to light. Recent claims revealing that the Oreva group, which was responsible for the maintenance of the suspension bridge, had temporarily repaired the 100 bridge before reopening it to the public. The contractors were not qualified to carry out the construction job. And in the midst of it all, what in the world was the civic body of Morbi, the Municipal Corporation of Morbi, doing? Shifting the blame to Oreva.
Days after destruction struck a century-old suspension bridge in Gujarat's Morbi town, several lapses that led to the tragic death of 135 people have come to the fore. The police made shocking revelations in a local court where they argued for remand for the 9 suspects arrested in the case on Tuesday. The prosecution claims the cables of the bridge were not replaced when the repairs were carried out. Oreva only replaced the bridge's flooring with much heavier aluminium sheets.
એટલે અમે એમનું એવું કે તપાસની અંદર એમને એવું ખોલેલું છે કે રોડ છે કેબલ કે બદલવામાં આવેલા નથી પણ માત્ર ફ્લોરિંગ બદલવામાં આવેલું છે એ હાલની તપાસમાં અમને એટલું નીકળેલું છે એટલે જે 4 લેયર એલ્યુમિનિયમનું એમને લેયર કરેલું છે.
Deepak Parekh, the Oreva manager in police custody, told the court the accident was an act of God. India Today has accessed the remand copy. It reveals the renovation of the bridge was carried out by Oreva Group in 2007 and 2022. According to the police, Oreva contracted the repair work to another firm, Dev Prakash Fabrication. The police want to ascertain if Dev Prakash Fabrication was technically equipped to handle the work. The remand copy says Oreva did not take clearance from the administration before reopening the bridge on October 26. The police say they want to investigate if any tests to check the strength of the bridge were done or if any expert agency supervised the work. Oreva were given a 15-year contract for the bridge's upkeep by the district administration in March 2022. The contract was to end in 2037. 2 managers of Oreva Group and 2 subcontractors who repaired the bridge along with 5 other arrested suspects have been remanded in police custody till Saturday. The Lawyers Guild in Morbi staged protests on Wednesday and declared they will not represent the accused.
इसमें एक्ट ऑफ गॉड का कुछ नहीं है. ये कानूनी जोगवाई के मुताबिक उसमें जो कानूनी क्रिमिनल नेग्लिजेंसी है उसके मुताबिक एफआईआर दर्ज हुई है. इसमें एक्ट ऑफ गॉड की कोई बात नहीं है.
Meanwhile, Oreva chairperson Jaisukbhai Patel is absconding and his house is deserted. With the foot soldiers of Oreva in judicial custody, questions are being raised as to how the big fish still remains elusive. Bureau Report, India Today.
Act of God, or rather an act of fraud. In the midst of it all, there's massive politicking, understandably so. The Bharatiya Janata Party says the opposition is trying to make a quick buck off a tragedy. The opposition says we are the opposition, entitled to ask questions. Let's bring in our political panelists this evening. Charu Pragya, spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party. Priyanka Kakkad, spokesperson Aam Aadmi Party. In just about 2 minutes, we'll be joined by Rohan Gupta, spokesperson Congress. Charu Pragya, the fact is, I'd like to ask you, would you be okay with the fact that after 3 days of a tragedy, the 9 who are arrested, 3 of them are security guards, 2 of them are ticket collectors, 2 of them are contractors and 2 of them are managers. Do you think it's right? Or do you think the ambit of investigation needs to be expanded? The sheer fact that in the FIR copy, the names of the top bosses of Oreva are missing. And what's really interesting is the role of the Municipal Corporation, which is the BJP's.
Preeti, since this is the first time I am discussing the issue of Morbi with you, I want to begin by paying my condolences and saying a prayer for families of the deceased and saying a prayer for those who are still battling for their lives. This has been a terrible tragedy and there is no shirking away from responsibility. responsibilities. BJP government in Gujarat or in the center takes complete responsibility for this mishap. We have said that clearly, and I am repeating it on behalf of the Labour Minister Brajeshji, who has said it. At the same time, nothing that can be done today is going to bring back lost lives. All we can do is make sure investigation is carried out in a free and fair manner. Those who are responsible for this, it doesn't matter at what level they are brought under the gambit of law and they are punished severely, because nobody is calling this an act of God. We need a new act in place for man-made disasters, and I hope this serves as a wake-up call. I know this is my government, this is my country, yet I am saying this, and this has been discussion for a very long time. We need a fresh law for man-made disasters, because at the end of the day, even if we say there is section 304 of IPC which is levied for a case like this, it is insufficient. It is not going to keep people behind bars in a way that they deserve to be, and we need to look at rehauling our laws. At the same time, whether it is compensation, rescue work, medical help, with Prime Minister Modi personally supervising everything after this tragedy, SIT being formed, arrests, everything is being done. I just hope that there is more which comes up in the next few days. The people who are absconding are arrested, are questioned, and we can serve some kind of justice.
Ms. Pragya, I'm going to bring in, Ms. Kakkad and Rohan Gupta as well, but I'll ask you a question on two counts. Number one, doesn't the fact that the FIR doesn't even mention the municipal corporation, which allegedly signed a contract with the Oreva group without floating a tender? It was given without a tender. That's the allegation. Number two, the fact that the municipal body says on record that it had absolutely no clue that this bridge was inaugurated. And this is a tender which was floated by the municipal corporation. That the municipal corporation doesn't even find mention in the FIR which has been filed by the police in Morbi. Number two, the name of Oreva company is missing, ma'am. Don't you think this is troublesome?
That can very easily be corrected, Preeti, and I am sure the police are doing their job to the best of their ability. It is true that no permission was taken from the Nagar Palika, and that is the reason why all of this has happened. To give permission, Nagar Palika would have done a check and survey of the bridge and would not have given permission to open it in the first place. After renovation, as far as I am aware, I am not a technical person, but as far as I am aware, it was said that this bridge is fit enough to only hold less than 100 people. So many more than that, at least 5 times more than that number, were on the bridge on the evening of the tragedy.
But Ms. Pragya, I'll bring in Ms. Kakkad as well. No, the fact is, wouldn't anyone think it's troublesome that the Nagar Palika, which is the municipal corporation, was clueless that its own municipality of a tender it had signed in on, that a bridge is being inaugurated, open for public use, and it has no clue? Head should roll.
Good evening, Preeti. Preeti, what is happening is that they are trying to manage the optics now. Why I say that is, see, if you really want a proper investigation, any layman will tell you we have enough laws in the country, implementation is a problem. Now in this, it is very clear. We will go into the fact, I don't even want to divert the issue that even without a tender, a contract was given. Let these be tribal issues, let the court take whatever time it takes, but unless you make the first party and the second party of a contract as the primary accused, unless you probe how was this contract given to the Oreva company who had no experience, is he connected to any cabinet minister in the BJP? Unless these questions are asked, you will hold pawns like the security guard. Is case mein chaukidar chor nahi hai. You have to release them immediately. Stop fooling the public. Let me also tell you, Preeti, what happened. On the day of the tragedy, BJP, I feel sympathetic towards Charuji. She has to defend the indefensible today. On the day of the tragedy, while this tragedy was unfolding, there was a rally by the BJP in Morbi which had a huge police bandobast with them. Nobody from that police bandobast or the rally rushed to the spot. They continued the rally for 30 minutes. Their Health and Family Welfare Minister, Hrishikesh Bhai Patel, he was celebrating his birthday with great pomp and show and posting it on social media. So enough injustice has been done to the victims, and it is high time that at least
Ms. Kakkad, which is the Aam Aadmi Party, and I'm bringing in now Rohan Gupta into this conversation as well. Today stand accused Rohan Gupta of politicizing a matter which your own leader says should not be politicized. Rahul Gandhi said that.
Preeti, absolutely right. We don't want to politicize this issue, but at the end of the day, last I think 72 hours, all the people are discussing on the debates, the panelists, the media, people, everybody, that why the action is not taken on the people who are responsible for this incident. It is very simple. You don't require any SIT or any commission to inquire what is happening wrong. The first question is, for 5 days this bridge was working without any kind of permission. It's a public place. Why this was allowed, number one? And people who are responsible, the corporation officers who allowed this bridge to be used without NOC, why no action has been taken against that? Number one. Number two, the company which was given this contract without fitness certificates, they have started collecting the toll. Why there is no arrest of the top management? The lower people cannot start the toll without permission of top management. The tickets were printed. Mind you, the tickets were printed, the printed tickets were given. Who will print? The lower person will print the tickets and give it to the people. No. It has to be with the top management. So two simple things. One, the corporation officers who allowed this bridge to be used for 5 days without NOC, and the owners of the people who are the contractors, no action has been taken for last 72 hours, and you are talking about politicizing the issue. It is not about the politicians, it is about the justice, which BJP is purposefully ensuring that it is not done. Why they are not able to arrest these two people? This is my simple question to BJP spokesperson. Let us do all the analysis afterwards.
Okay. Charu Pragya, you know, the fact is, I'll come back to you, and there is credence to the question that the opposition is asking. After all, they are the opposition. It's their job to question you. And the question, possibly, that everyone is Gujarat and India is looking at and asking Charu Pragya is, the main managing director of Oreva is missing. Is the Gujarat police that weak that they cannot find Jaisukh Patel anywhere? Is it that weak that they cannot trace the man who is the one inaugurating this bridge, knowing very well that this bridge is unfit? Are we going to say that the Gujarat police is that incompetent, Ms. Pragya?
That is exactly what the opposition wants to say today, and even though they claim that they don't want to politicize this entire issue and talk about irrelevant things, I don't think that is the case. They are clutching at straws, even though they realize that immediately after the incident an SIT was formed. The police are doing their jobs, and I would like to trust them. I know that an incident like this pains everyone, and it's unfair to say that just because you belong to one political party and not the other, it affects you more. I'm very sorry, because this has to be taken more seriously than that, and we have to rise above politics here. I assure you, on behalf of my party, on behalf of the government of Gujarat and the government of India, that nobody who's involved in this, like I said in the beginning, no matter at what level, is going to be spared. There are also these aspersions cast on other people, and no names are being taken. I find that very suspect. If you have some proof, please come out with a name and say it. Give us some proof, but please don't point fingers in an issue this serious with no documents backing you up. It is unfair, it is incorrect.
Ms. Pragya, that's a fair point, but let's name the two people who should find mention in the FIR. And I'm sorry, I'm going to ask you this question again, Ms. Pragya. Those two people are Jaisukh Patel, who's the managing director of Oreva, who's missing. So let's name him, and we've named him. Now the other one is the municipal corporation. Mr. Zala is the chief municipal corporation head. Shouldn't you reckon that both of them, because Mr. Zala signed in on that tender to Oreva, would you not reckon that both of them need to be at least mentioned in the FIR, which strangely doesn't even find mention?
Preeti, but that's the thing, I'm in agreement with you. We are not at loggerheads here. I agree with you. I am the first one, and I am sure the authorities agree with you too. So if there has to be a change in the FIR, that can very easily be done at the investigation stage, and it will be done. Like I'm saying, I have complete faith. I am grieving since I have seen the visuals of that bridge collapsing. I think it was a India Today visual only which was doing the rounds everywhere. And to think about 40 children falling to their death, everybody, even cops, everyone has families, please. So let's rise above politics, have faith in the police force, and wait for investigations to complete.
Right, 47 children. The youngest was a 2-year-old toddler. Priyanka Kakkad, do you have faith in the fact that maybe the ambit of investigation is going to be diversified, it will be extended, and new names will come up?
Perhaps new names can come up later, that is a possibility, but at the same time, ample time has been given to the Oreva group to vanish. One. Secondly, I don't see if they really mean that they will conduct a fair investigation, they need an SIT under a sitting judge, but not comprising of people who should actually ideally be a part named in the FIR. That is what is happening here. Very cleverly, the issue that they have left out these two names and they have filed an affidavit today in court so that they can sit here on debates and say that we will make sure guilty are brought to justice. I was watching a patient's bite today on one of the channels, and she said that, you know, her mother-in-law died 4 years ago because there was a transformer emitting current perpetually and they wrote to the Gujarat electricity board. Nobody came and the mother-in-law died. Today she said that the PM came to the hospital which was renovated after 27 years finally. They made a demo hospital. The PM visited and he asked no questions. She categorically said, I have that bite, she categorically was insensitive. So this is the Gujarat.
Lack of faith, right. Okay, I want to bring in, I'd like to bring in Rohan Gupta back into this conversation. Rohan Gupta, you know, you've questioned the SIT as well, which should be under a sitting judge, and the constituents of the SIT need to be questioned themselves. Do you have faith that the ambit of investigation will be widened in days?
My question is very simple. Something which you can see with the open eyes. Why are you waiting for investigations to be concluded? Simple. Like for 72 hours, there have been discussions.
Are you trying to say that
I'll come to you. Ms. Pragya, let him make his point. I'll come to you.
Please.
Go ahead.
Very simple. There's last 72 hours. Can you deny the fact that bridge was started without NOC of the local authority? No. Can you deny the fact that 5 days the bridge was working with more than 5 times the capacity of bridge? No. Can you deny the fact that the owners or the contractors, they charge for the ticket 17 rupees of the ticket? No. So when these three facts are there, you just tell me which kind of inquiry will come out with the facts more than this. This is something which is clearly visible. At least take that action. Then you can go into minute details. Okay, who is responsible? Who has drafted the contract? But something which is visible with our open eyes. Why you have to wait for inquiry report to come out? It is as simple as that. I really don't understand. This is the reason, Preeti, why people of Gujarat, they are not happy. You ask anybody locally, Morbi or Gujarat, they are totally surprised the way BJP is behaving right now. Even after such pressure, they are not able to make any relevant arrest till now. This is the fact.
Okay.
Nobody can deny this.
Ms. Pragya, that's a fact. You wanted to come in for a rebuttal? Go ahead, come in for a rebuttal. But the question stands, madam, and everybody is asking that same question. Are security guards going to be held for the death of 135 citizens of this country? Security guards, contractors, those who were ticketing there, they were just doing their job, many would say.
So I was interrupting Rohan to tell him that there is a certain procedure to law which needs to be followed. It doesn't matter how grievous and how serious the crime is, it's just the way law is made in our land. So while you're saying that the eyewitness accounts are there and the bridge has collapsed, you can just jump in and do everything in an instant, in a click of a few fingers. I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. While I am saying that, I am aware of the gravity of the situation. I am also aware that even if the strictest possible sections are levied on this today, it's still going to be insufficient because we are admitting we can't bring people back. At the same time, I am very confident that this government is not calling it an act of God. Do you remember when the bridge collapsed in Kolkata under the watch of the TMC government, what Mamata Didi said about it? I am actually glad that we have risen from that kind of pettiness. We are recognizing that if something goes wrong and we are in government, we have to take the onus and responsibility of it. We are doing that, and while we are doing that, we are aware that it means widening the gambit of the purview of the investigation. We are aware that more senior people need to be either investigated by the police or questioned. I am aware of all of that, as are the authorities. I am just saying it's very easy to sit on television and give advice to everyone. It is not that easy when you're on the ground and you're working around the clock under so much of pressure after such a terrible tragedy.
Wait for the SIT, wait for the investigation and then talk is what the BJP says.
BJP, the people of Gujarat, they are angry. The people of India, they are angry.
Oh, and
now,
can I interrupt? Can I interrupt one
Just
more
go
time,
ahead.
Rohan? Okay, he's not on
Just
air.
one minute, just
So,
one minute,
you know, when
just one
Rohan
minute.
wants to speak
Can you
for
hear
all
me?
the
No,
people
please,
of Gujarat,
Charu,
I
don't
don't
speak
know
in
if they
between.
No,
are
one
supportive
second.
in
Can we just
power.
go one by
Please don't
one?
speak in between.
Okay, can we just go one by one? Okay, Charu, you have
The
10
point is
seconds.
very clear.
Okay, Mr. Gupta, let Charu complete and I'll come to you. Charu, make 10 seconds. Make your point. I'll go to Rohan Gupta.
How is it, Mr. Gupta, that you've been appointed as the spokesperson of all the people of Gujarat? Did all of them come to you and talk to you?
Okay.
Please don't
No,
make
the fact is,
statements
no.
like that.
Okay, fine. Okay, Ms. Gupta, Mr. Gupta, go
Charu.
ahead. Make your point.
I don't want to make individual comments. The point is very clear. When you cannot take action against the people who are clearly responsible for such a heinous incident, it speaks about your intention. It speaks why you are not taking the action. You wait for people of Gujarat, they are angry. People of India, they are angry that this is the government.
All right. Okay, I'm going to end the show. Ms. Kakkad, I know you wanted to come in for a quick word in, but that's all the time that we have for. But we wanted to end with this, and there's a reason why. Who've been arrested? Who are these 9 people, viewers? Security guards, ticket contractors, those who were ticketing there, managers. What about the big top guys? Where does the buck stop? Does it stop with the security guard who was doing his job? Will he be held responsible for the murder, cold-blooded murder of 135 citizens of this country? Will big fish just keep getting away? While scapegoats are arrested, will big heads never roll? On To The Point this evening, we would like to end with a clip from a 1983 film. It's a satire black comedy called Jaane Bhi Do Yaro. I know we aren't mocking the Morbi tragedy by showing you this clip. Through the medium of cinema, we hope to question the system which has let us down repeatedly for years now. Only if the Morbi tragedy was fiction, like Jaane Bhi Do Yaro, like this film, which will resonate with many of us on how the Morbi probe is being handled.
अभी पता चला है कि लगभग 13 करोड़ रुपए के खर्च से बना डिमेलो पुल, जिसका हाल ही में उद्घाटन हुआ था, आज अचानक टूटकर गिर पड़ा। इस पुल के टूटने से बंबई शहर के नागरिकों में एक सनसनी सी फैल गई है। नागरिक समिति की मांग पर सरकार ने श्री केलकर की अध्यक्षता में एक जांच समिति बिठाई है, जो जल्द ही अपना फैसला सरकार के सामने रखेगी। इस पुल का निर्माण तरनेजा कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉरपोरेशन ने किया था। उनके चेयरमैन श्री तरनेजा से हमारे मुख्य संवाददाता ने भेंट की।
मिस्टर तरनेजा, आपका क्या ख्याल है, इस पुल के टूटने की वजह क्या है?
वजह तो इंक्वायरी कमेटी बताएगी। हाँ, वैसे मैंने अपनी तरफ से कोई गुंजाइश नहीं छोड़ी है। मैंने बढ़िया से बढ़िया सीमेंट, इंपोर्टेड कंस्ट्रक्शन मटेरियल इस्तेमाल किया है। यू सी, मुझे विश्वास है कि इंक्वायरी कमेटी के चेयरमैन हमारे मिस्टर केलकर आज नहीं तो कल जरूर इसी नतीजे पर पहुंचेंगे। अगर मेरे मटेरियल में कुछ खराबी होती तो बंबई की बहुत सी बिल्डिंग्स अब तक गिर चुकी होती। यू सी,
आप पर कौन शक कर सकता है?
ये पुल गिरा नहीं है, गिराया गया है। दिस इज अ वर्क ऑफ सैबोटेज। यू सी, ये साजिश है। कोई मुझे बदनाम करना चाहता है, ब्लैकलिस्ट करवाना चाहता है। आई एम टेलिंग यू, दिस इज अ वर्क ऑफ सैबोटेज।
हमारे संवाददाता ने उस पुलिस वाले से भी भेंट की जो उस रात पुल टूटने से पहले वहां पहरे पर था।
उस रात 2 लड़का कुछ इधर उधर कर रहा था।
वेरी गुड, शाबाश। उनके हाथ में क्या था?
लापरनागा साहब, हमने उनका एड्रेस डायरी में बराबर नोट करके रखा है।
नोट किया?
हाँ, ये देखो, ब्यूटी फोटो स्टूडियो।
ओहो, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं सूझा? हो सकता है उन्होंने पुल उड़ाया हो।